Reflection on true love, lessons from personal experiences. Love, for me, is not only an ideal concept or a lasting emotion, but also involves failures, heartbreaks, and moments of pain that no one can avoid in life. I have experienced a broken marriage, felt betrayed, and deceived by the person I trusted the most. These feelings, combined with my frustration and loss of faith in love, made me question whether true love really exists in this world. However, through those painful experiences, I realized that love is not always a smooth road. Sometimes it is a journey filled with challenges that we must overcome in order to find ourselves, regain our faith, and achieve peace within. Forgiveness and compassion. Keys to unlocking the heart. After my love and marriage failed, my heart became frozen, like an invisible wall I built to protect myself from further harm. But over time, I realized that in order to continue loving and opening my heart, I had to learn how to forgive and show compassion, not only for others but also for myself. In the face of betrayal, the first emotions I experienced were anger and hurt. However, I learned that holding on to resentment and bitterness only caused more pain. Forgiveness does not mean I accept wrongful actions, but it allows me to let go of negative emotions so they no longer control my life. Forgiveness is a liberating act, enabling me to regain inner peace and open my heart to new opportunities, including true love. I have come to understand that real love is not just about happiness. It involves patience, forgiveness, and understanding. A lasting relationship cannot thrive without these elements. When we forgive others and ourselves, we create the space for authentic love to flourish, rebuilding trust in love and finding peace in the heart. After my disappointments, I once lost all faith in love. I told myself that love was just empty promises, something transient that comes and goes. But the truth is, love is not something that can be easily explained or measured by societal standards. True love is about acceptance, understanding, and loving someone as they are. Sometimes, it involves loving even the mistakes of the other person, accepting their flaws, and overcoming challenges together. Thus, when I began learning how to forgive and move past my past hurts, I gradually regained my faith in love. I realized that love is not about seeking perfection, but about acceptance, sharing, and being willing to love despite life's imperfections. Separation does not mean loss. One crucial lesson I learned from heartbreak is that separation is not the end. In fact, sometimes separation provides an opportunity for both individuals to rediscover themselves, grow, and become stronger. Each breakup brings valuable lessons that help us understand what we truly need in life and love. When viewed from each person to grow. When I found peace in my heart after every breakup, I realized that I could love and be loved again, without fearing the past wounds. And that is when my heart was truly free to love again. Love is a journey, not a destination. Ultimately, I realized that true love is not a destination. It is a journey. It is not about finding perfection, but about learning to forgive, learning to love and be loved, and learning to appreciate each relationship in a deeper and more meaningful way. Love is not about holding on to the past or pain. It is about accepting the present and moving toward the future. Even though love may bring pain, it is also an essential part of each person's growth process. To experience true love, we must first learn to love ourselves, and from that foundation, we can love others genuinely and deeply. When we learn forgiveness, compassion, and trust in the good things in life, that is when we are truly ready to receive authentic love and real happiness. True love is not something far-fetched or idealistic. It can manifest in simple moments, in the act of sharing, in the effort to overcome difficulties together. And even if we have gone through broken relationships or hurtful experiences, forgiveness, compassion, and faith in the goodness of life are still the keys that allow us to open our hearts and accept real love from others. The example of overcoming heartbreak. To illustrate this further, let's consider the story of Emma, a friend of mine who went through a painful divorce after 10 years of marriage. Emma believed in love with all her heart and invested everything into her relationship, but she found herself betrayed when her husband was unfaithful. Initially, Emma was devastated and questioned whether love was even real. For months, she couldn't even fathom the idea of trusting someone again. She isolated herself, convinced that love had only brought her pain. But then, Emma began her journey of healing. She started seeing a therapist who helped her understand that forgiveness is not about excusing the other person's actions, but about liberating herself from the hold of anger and bitterness. Slowly, Emma learned to forgive not just her ex-husband, but also herself for not seeing the warning signs earlier. She began to focus on self-love, personal growth, and rediscovering her passions. Emma took up painting, something she had always loved but never had time for during her marriage. She traveled solo to places she had always dreamed of visiting, and in the process, she found herself again. Years later, Emma met someone who genuinely cared for her. She didn't rush into a relationship, but instead, she took her time to build trust and get to know the person. She had learned from her past that love requires patience, mutual respect, and understanding. Today, Emma is happily married again, but she always emphasizes that the key to true love is forgiveness, both for others and for oneself. True love, a life of acceptance and freedom. Through experiences like Emma's, I've come to understand that love is not about perfection, nor is it about avoiding the inevitable challenges that arise. True love is about accepting flaws, growing together, and choosing to love despite difficulties. It is about freedom, freedom to be oneself, freedom to love deeply, and freedom to forgive and move forward. The process of opening one's heart to true love involves immense growth. It requires us to be vulnerable, to face our past wounds, and to trust in the possibility of happiness again. True love isn't just about romantic relationships. It's about finding peace in our hearts and sharing that peace with others. Therefore, no matter how many times we may face heartache, no matter how many times we may be let down, we must hold on to the belief that love is worth it. It's a journey that teaches us to be resilient, to trust again, and to open our hearts to new possibilities. Through forgiveness, compassion, and self-love, we can unlock the deepest form of love, one that is healing, authentic, and everlasting. In the end, true love is not a destination, but a beautiful, transformative journey that allows us to live fully, love freely, and accept ourselves and others as we are. True love in the modern world. Does it still exist? In today's fast-paced world, where everything is changing at an unprecedented rate and materialistic values are emphasized more than ever, the concept of true love seems increasingly ambiguous, especially among younger generations. Many young people no longer trust in love the way previous generations did. They may choose not to love, avoid entering relationships, or even refrain from marriage. So, why has there been such a significant shift? Does true love still exist in a world driven by materialism and individual gain? Why do young people no longer believe in love? One of the primary reasons young people seem to have lost faith in love is the absence of idealized relationship models, alongside disappointment from personal experiences or societal influences. We live in a society where everything, including relationships, can be commodified. Material values and personal interests are placed at the forefront of every decision. As a result, Many perceive love today not as an emotional bond, but as a transaction, a partnership that involves both people benefiting in some way. The rise of online dating and the hookup culture is a prime example of how relationships are increasingly seen as exchanges of convenience rather than true emotional connections. In these environments, it becomes harder for young people to differentiate between real love and transactional relationships. The constant availability of choice and the idea of quick fixes make love seem less meaningful and more disposable. Furthermore, societal pressures also play a significant role. In a world where success is often defined by career accomplishments and financial stability, many young people feel that pursuing romantic relationships or starting a family could slow down their personal progress. They might believe that prioritizing a career or self-growth is more valuable than investing time in love and family, which are seen as distractions or burdens. Social media further exacerbates this shift, often glorifying superficial aspects of relationships and love. Influencers and celebrities frequently present curated, idealized images of romance, leaving younger generations feeling that real-life relationships, with their complexities and challenges, cannot possibly match up. Instead, they may feel disconnected from the concept of love altogether. What is true love in the modern world? True love is a concept that can't be defined by a singular standard. It is not merely about affection or romantic chemistry, but about a deep connection between two people based on mutual understanding, respect, and support. However, in the materialistic society we live in, where everything is measured in terms of monetary gain or social status, true love often seems like a rare commodity. In modern society, the line between love and transaction has blurred. Many relationships are driven by personal interests rather than deep emotional connections. People often seek partners who can offer something tangible, financial security, social status, or emotional validation. Love, in this case, becomes less about genuine affection and more about fulfilling immediate desires or enhancing one's personal life. Take, for instance, the phenomenon of influencer relationships or celebrity partnerships. These relationships often appear to be based on mutual benefits, an exchange of status, publicity, or even financial advantage, rather than an organic emotional bond. While these couples may present themselves as perfect, they often fall apart once the public interest fades. This is a stark reminder of how love, when commodified, loses its authenticity. Yet, despite the prevalence of materialism, true love still exists in the world. It's not easy to find, but when it does, it is deeply transformative. True love is not something that can be bought or engineered. It is a connection built on mutual respect, understanding, and a willingness to grow together.